And welcome back, friends. This is episode number 26 of Man Sharpens Man. I know, the few of you that actually have been listening to the show are like, where the fuck have you been, man? Well, I've just been a little busy, whatever, no excuses. I just, comedy, working, blah, 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 same old shit. But I'm back. That's what's important, is I'm fucking back on track. Hopefully we can start getting one of these a week. I'm very excited. I got to start right off with saying that I had some inspiration to even be doing today's show, and that's that tomorrow I will be at a motherfucking Yellow Wolf, Korn, some group I never fucking heard of, and Stone Sour concert. That's what's important. And tomorrow is going to be fucking awesome. I got the appropriate amount of joints rolled. I got everything ready. It's going to be great. We get to be on the lawn at DTE Energy Theater. That's Pine Knob for you old heads that know what Pine Knob is. And for you young heads, it's DTE Energy Theater. They call it Detroit, but it's in Clarkston, so whatever. I fucking had a lot of fun at that place. I've went to a lot of shows there. It's a fucking pretty badass place. Seen Chappelle there. They do like comedy there. Sometimes they had the Oddball Fest there and shit. That was pretty fucking cool. So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow, and it is going to be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. So I got all amped up, got a little extra adrenaline. I got a little free time today, so I was like, you know what? I need to sit down and holler at my people. Holler at my Man Sharpens Man audience. All three of you. I listened to it 3 different times or something. I don't know. I don't get a lot of views, but I don't care. I'm going to keep making the show. I'm promoting it through my comedy now. That's another thing I got going on is the comedy. I know I've already mentioned that, but goddamn, that is some fun shit. When I was young, like, I kind of thought I liked comedy, but I was never like, I should do comedy. I don't know. It just didn't seem like I didn't know how to do it. Like, what do you go put a fucking application in? Where do you go? Is there some kind of thing? And, there's not even really, the comedy clubs died off during my generation. So they're starting to come back now, which is good. So hopefully the comedy thing steps up, which is weird. I do like to do comedy. I've always liked making motherfuckers laugh. So now to be able to get in front of like a bunch of motherfuckers and once in a while get, a percentage of them to laugh or whatever, you bomb once in a while. You eat dicks, you bomb, whatever they call it, you fuck up, get up there and start stuttering and say the wrong shit. I got kicked off the stage once for saying tranny. I was down in some kind of little politically correct ass club in Grand Rapids. It was horrible. It was horrible, and the whole thing is the joke was like defending trannies. So it's like for me to get kicked off the fucking stage for saying tranny is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I fucking did most of my life in prison around motherfucking people that if you fucked up their fantasy, see that's the thing you got to face in prison when you're fucking with transgender or transsexual or need money or whatever you are. When you're fucking with that kind of person in prison, that shit is way different because it's not the tranny that you're gonna offend. It's his big ass boyfriend because they got like the fantasy. They hold that shit. They don't. They're like, I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. And they hold that shit, and they make the motherfucker like. I've heard motherfuckers arguing with their boy or whatever you girlfriend or whatever you call it about whether or not they're gonna sit down to piss. Like seriously, like look, you're gonna sit down to piss, or I'm gonna fuck you up if I catch you in here standing up to piss. Like I have heard that. I could break down that memory for you, but I don't think I want to. But I do remember someone checking someone once because they were standing up to pee. And he walked in on it. And he's like, "Hey, I don't like seeing you like this. Put your makeup on or whatever. Sit down in the stall. Jesus Christ!" But I guess they weren't in a committed. Once you've been together for a while, maybe you fart in front of each other in that realm too. I don't know. But prison gayness is probably different than world gayness. I'm just making them the same thing. You know how I roll. Whatever. I'm just fucking making jokes. It's all good. I do feel bad for them. I feel bad for the people that are on that side. I mean, it's not like they're like, oh, I decided I want to fucking live a shitty life, get picked on and fucked up. I mean, they get a rough fucking deal. Even love hurts. I bet. That's wrong. I can't quit it. I can't quit. But anyhow, I'm gonna stop. I'm saying seriously. They got a shitty deal, shitty rap. President Trump all out on them now, talking about just out of the blue, no more trans in the army, and it's like, oh, the guy is so full of hate. And I'm gonna guarantee you. Let me just light this candle real quick. Candle, right? Like this, he's never burnt a candle on the show before. It's not a candle, don't worry. But listen, I guarantee you, I know what's going on with old Trumpy. Ooh, that candle is smoky. But anyhow, old Trumpy there. He gets some information from one of his shithead friends, like Alex Jones or one of these idiots that he listens to, and the person tells him, he's like, oh, these people are joining the army so they can get free dick cut-off procedures or whatever. So he freaks out about it just because he hears some shit and he just goes off the fucking cuff. That's why he's a shitty president, too. But anyhow, he just freaks out and tweets that shit out, like, oh, they're kicking him out. I bet you that's what it was. Like, that hasn't come out, but I bet you that's what it was. But whatever. He is turning out to be quite a shithead for a president, but at the same time, it's interesting. And it's only 4 years. The young people are all worried about it because when you're young, 4 years is a long fucking time. But once you get over like 25, 30, you're like, 4 years ain't shit. Like, I'll forget a couple things, and next thing you know, he won't be president no more. Unless he gets a second term. You never know. He could shine up. He could shine up a little bit, get a second term, but I don't really see it. Maybe the Koreans will help him next time get in there or something. No, I'm not going to get too political. You guys know I don't give a shit about politics. I really don't. The only politician I like is Jennifer Granholm. And that's because she was a nice liberal mayor, or whatever the fuck she was from Michigan, governor. Governor? Yeah, that's what she was. She was the governor. And she was liberal enough that the parole board was a little liberal, and I got a parole the first time. That shit ain't easy to do. You get a something to something, like sometimes you work on that second something, you know what I mean? Like you don't always just get out on the first something. People think some kind of revolving door. Hell no. If you got a loved one in prison or you know about that shit is there's no revolving door there. I guarantee that. Listen, I'm already talking about prison. Well, that's part of the show. It's part of the show. You guys, it's part of the reason you guys love the show. I know it is. You guys get on here hoping for some old prison stories. You know what's in the news right now that's got me thinking about prison a lot too lately? Is fucking OJ's getting out. O.J. Simpson getting out again. Now, a lot of people are pissed off about that, which isn't cool. I'm going to tell you why. You can stay pissed off if you want to about the fact he didn't go to prison for the Anna Nicole Brown thing. But to be thinking that he needs to do more armed robbery time because he got away with a murder doesn't really work. You know what I mean? I mean, he did get away with it. There's no fucking doubt about it. But the reason it's got me reminiscing, let's not get all fucking hyper-political, who gives a shit. But what anyhow, the reason it's got me reminiscing is because I was getting fucking shipped upriver at the same time he was getting, off the little ferry ride boat that he was on because he was a millionaire, motherfucker. So while I was getting shipped to prison for some shit I didn't do, this motherfucker was getting shipped home for some shit he did do. And it was quite traumatizing for me. But at the same time, it was kind of weird because I caught my case in 94 when for those new listeners that maybe haven't listened to old show, I just got a touch up. I did 11 to 20, blah, blah, blah. I did 10 years in prison. So I talk about it on the show here and there. So that's a little backstory. It's like, oh my God, he's in prison. This is the first episode I ever listened to. Not in prison now. This is old shit. I was locked up from the time I was 17 till I was 28. So it was a little bit of a stint. But anyhow, I was in there, and I had already gotten locked up. I was already in prison, and just real quick, overshadow, some of it might sound interesting. We'll touch back on it. I got stabbed, ended up in the hole because I wouldn't tell him who stabbed me. And while I was in the hole, that's when the OJ verdict was coming back. And so I was pretty sure he was going to beat the rap because he had money. But at the same time, I was probably one of the few white Americans that was really hoping. I was fucking hoping. I'm like in the hole with some savages. Like, I'm in prison with some savages in general. I'm about to be back in population with them in a minute. But anyhow, I'm hoping OJ gets found not guilty because people are talking crazy up in this thing. So anyhow, I'm in the hole. And the guards in the hole were fairly cool, but they had a TV down in the day room that they could watch because like the hole was just like a converted unit. They just took like a unit that was a normal place where it should have had just smiling faces in the day room watching, Cheaters or Maury Povich or Bad Girls Club. Instead, it was a converted one they had converted it into a hole. So all the cells were locked down and you never came out, and that was it. There was a day room down there, and the guards would hang down there and watch the inmate TV, or, what should have been the inmate day room TV. And so anyhow, I'm just fucking, fond memories. Anyhow, the day the OJ verdict is coming back, we're all sitting in our joints just waiting. The guards are hollering down the hall, hey, letting us know the little steps and procedures. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. And I seriously was just praying. I'm like, please find this motherfucker not guilty. I do not want to deal with a bunch of angry-ass motherfuckers right now. That is the last thing I want to deal with. And then sure enough, they found him not guilty. And then later I was like, God, fuck OJ, Well, whatever. That's what money gets you in America. It gets you justice. We all know the justice system's a cracked egg. If you are facing some time, look, I'm going to give you some advice. And you're going to think this is the most fucked up advice he's ever given us. But you might as well take that plea bargain. Just get a good-ass lawyer and get a good-ass plea bargain. Other than that, you think you're going to go to trial with some Perry Mason shit? You think you're going to just tell him and beat it? Yeah, you ain't going to do shit. Trust me. Look at the conviction rates. Like, unless you're OJ or some kind of thing like that, you only hear about the people that get found not guilty because it's so fucking rare. It's like, triplets being born all attached at the dick. It's all fucking rare. So you hear about the not guilty shit because it's like a fucking Sasquatch spotting or whatever. It's fucking rare. So they tell you about it every time one happens. So in your mind you think, oh, everyone goes to trial and just beats it, like how fucking Perry Mason or fucking CSI or whatever, Law and Order. There's all kinds of shows. Whatever. No, you don't beat your shit. Take the goddamn deal. That's what LJ's telling you today. The deal is cop out. No, whatever. You should fight for what you think is right. You really should. That's what I did. That's why I got 11 to 20. A lot of people don't know that's why I got, like, why did I get 11 to 20 for some podink little fucking armed robbery? Which, by the way, I didn't do. I'm going to put that little fucking, did not include that footnote. When I'm in prison, you think I told people I didn't do it? Everyone's like, oh, everyone in prison is innocent. That's what I always hear. No, I don't hear it no more, but I used to always hear that shit. Oh, everyone in prison is innocent. People would say that, and it's like, I don't think you fucking know until you've been in there. The only thing I realized when I was in there that I'm pretty sure God is in prison, because everyone seems to find him there. Jesus is in there too, maybe. There's a lot of Mexicans. But anyhow, not everyone is fucking innocent in prison. That's not how the shit works. People don't be fucking in there. Oh, I mean, it's like Shawshank Redemption shit. No one wants to say they're innocent. If you're innocent, you keep your goddamn mouth shut. I learned that quick. Every fucking time I try to break it down to someone and tell them, oh, I'm in here for some bullshit, then they would, like, take that as a thing to start arguing with me and telling me that I'm full of shit or something. I'm not even lying. That shit would escalate to fights constantly, and it wouldn't even be of my choosing. It would just kind of escalate. So after a while, or people would just think, or they wouldn't think. Well, like, people in prison don't usually think. They just say, but they would say shit like, you're just trying to be better than a motherfucker. You ain't no criminal. You're trying to act like you ain't no criminal. Just stupid shit like that. The stupidest shit. So after a while, I made up the coolest little fucking story. I sounded like I was James Bond almost, but everyone embellishes their shit, so everyone knew I was lying then too. So whatever, motherfuck them. It was fucking crazy. Crazy ass times. Crazy, crazy times. But not now. I'm out on the deck here at Man Sharpens Man Studios. You guys can probably hear the trees rustling a little. It's kind of a breezy day. It is beautiful out here, and I'm getting fucking stoked for that concert tomorrow. Oh, I got sidetracked. And I didn't finish telling you about the American justice system and crying about it. Like a little beach. But no, seriously, the fucking justice system is crazy for this reason alone. In my eyes. I mean, there's other reasons, but this is the main one. They will offer you a plea bargain. They offered me a 1-year plea bargain. They said, look, you plead guilty to this armed robbery, you do 1 year in county jail. And I told my lawyer, I said, no, I didn't do it so we don't take the plea bargain. And my lawyer looked at me like I was fucking retarded. And he treated me like I was fucking retarded. He's like, what are you talking about? This is the best plea bargain I've ever been offered. You're gonna fucking take this. You know what I mean? And it was like, nope. So anyhow, long story short, I fired my court-appointed attorney that gave me good advice. And I hired an attorney that gave me the advice I wanted to hear for money. There's two different... But, he just basically was willing to take my money for whatever I said. I would say his name, but I'm sure he would sue me for slander or some shit with his little radar beepers. Whatever. I'm sure he doesn't listen to my show. He's not that kind of attorney. Or if he's even around anymore, I don't even know. I haven't looked him up recently. It's been years and years now. But you see what I'm saying? They gave me 11 to 20 for going to trial. I didn't take their plea bargain. I go to trial, and because I went to trial, they say you got a right to a free trial. But what the fuck? That's not a right to a free trial. If you take your trial and are given 10 more times the time that you were offered in a plea bargain, what the fuck is that for? Because you exercise your right? You have a right to a trial. Let's iron this out. Even if you had done a crime, you might want to go through a trial just to make sure that you were being charged with the exact right crime. I mean, I don't know. You fucking hit someone with a beer bottle, and they charge you with assault with a deadly weapon, and it should be like, assault less than murder or something. I don't even know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying maybe you want to go to trial just so you can see what the system is like. Maybe you just want to do it for fun. Whatever. It's supposed to be your right. You're supposed to be able to exercise your rights, like I'm doing right now. My Man Sharpens Man, my freedom of speech, which is another reason I love this show. And I love you people for listening to it. And don't forget, I am doing comedy now. Look, I'm going to plug it right now. I don't want to wait till the end to plug it. Little mid-show plug. I need a sip of water anyhow. All right. This Tuesday, August 1st, if you want to catch some of my freestyle ad-libbins, you can catch me at the Distillery, downtown Traverse City, the Distillery Tasting Room. It's like pretty much on the corner of Cass and Front. Catch me there at 7:30. I'll be doing some shit along with the Kamikaze Comedy Group, run by old Matt Zerilli, my homeboy. He's been on an episode of this once. I need to get his ass back. I need to get a lot of my comedy friends on here. I know I've been promising that, It's coming. It's coming. I'm going to interview them all. It's just trying to set it up and blah, blah, blah. I got kittens right now, too, which is very time consuming. Very time consuming. You guys all know, got hairless cats, unless there's new listeners, but I raise hairless cats. And right now, I just had two mamas that had babies within 2 weeks of each other. I mean, intentionally, but I made it sound like it was just, well, I don't know how they got pregnant. It was just immaculate. Bunch of Jesus kittens. No, they got pregnant because I took them out to see It's, the cat that tried to fucking kill me. I don't even know if I have not talked about that on the show yet. My little buddy, It's the cat, that I used to do a lot of shows with, and I will get back to doing shows with him once we fully reestablish our trust in our relationship, but he tried to fucking kill me. I mean, there's been a male cat, let me defend him a little bit, though. There's been a male cat coming around my house, pissing, stinking it up, just being an ass. Well, I noticed that my stud, his behavior has been going crazy. He's been acting way different. So I'm like, what's up with my It's? And I was keeping an eye on him while I was out there working one day, and I stepped on his paw on accident when he was trying to rub my feet. Well, he yowled and kind of went away. And just like a woman, when they say they're fine and they're not, he kind of acted like he was like over it, and I went to console him, and I picked him up, and that was the wrong fucking move because he bit into my throat. Not even kidding, bit my throat and started trying to claw my eyes out of my face. I could not pull him off my fucking face. I was like, I need Donald Trump right now. I need someone to grab this pussy. No, that's just jokes. That's jokes. But seriously, I need a 50 cent to knock the pussy out. More jokes. But the fucking cat. The cat was, I'm gripping the mic like I'm at a show. The fucking cat was on my face. It was on my face. It was horrible. I fucking was fearing for my eyes. I finally got him off. I had to get 9 stitches in my ear. He laid my ear open. I looked like a MMA fighter. It was fucked up. But it was a lot my fault. I hadn't dealt with the cat that was outside. I stepped on him. I picked him up. I mean, it was about 99% my fault. But anyhow, me and him have been reestablishing our relationship. And being as how that was my old studio, now I'm back outside. So, show's a little bit late. Sorry, people, but here I'm back. But there's the story of how my cat It's tried to kill me in the middle of my promos. I only did one. I know that. See, I made some notes today, especially for the promos, because I always forget the date. And then after Tuesday the 1st at the distillery, you can catch me Monday the 7th doing the Rotten Cherries open mic down at the Workshop Brewery. And if you don't know where that at, where that at? If you don't know where that at, dog, it is behind the, what is that called? Oh, that new hotel, Indigo, that big hotel down by the bay in Traverse City. Right behind there, it's a cool little spot, the Workshop Brewery. They make their own beer, and it is delicious. You guys know, LJ ain't much of a drinker, but their beer is delicious. And they let me have it for free for doing comedy, so I drink one. I always get the girly one. I had the bartender girl knows. She's like, one girly beer for this guy. And then my last thing I'm going to plug, because hopefully I'll do another show before then or shortly thereafter, is August 12th, I'll be at the Parlor. And that's downtown by Haggerty in Traverse City as well. And I might have some other shit mixed in there, but those are the 3 that I know about. August 12th at the Parlor is at 9 o'clock, and that is going to be like a feature show. If you really want to check one out, check the Parlor out. The other 2, they're open mics. I'm going to fucking light it up, tear it up, whatever. We're going to get fucking wild, talk shit. But the fucking feature show, I get more time. I can get settled in a little bit, really let my nuts hang. Because when I go out there, people, if they fucking don't believe I'm crazy, I show them my nuts. Right a fucking way. It's like, check this out. I am fucking nuts. But I do love doing comedy. That's been one of the big things that's changed since I did my last show, Man Sharpens Man, that is I've really taken a bunch of comedy on. And I'm not using it as an excuse for being busy, because it doesn't take that damn long. But it does take some of my creative energy away from me. So it's like, I know that sounds fucking corny, but it's true. Like, I've always listened to, like, writers and people talk about having writer block and being tired from that shit and thought, man, you are so full of shit. You're tired of just sitting up and making stories, Stephen King? You can't write the final Gunslinger book for a motherfucker? You're tired? Just do it, man. It ain't nothing. But now that I'm kind of, living in the creative side of life a little bit, doing shows and comedy and this thing, I see. It does tap you. It taps you a little bit. But I'm back. I got my mojo up. I got my mojo rising. Summer has been very good on me. Very good on me. Went down the river yesterday with my daughter and my wife. Wish my son could have been there, but he's got, he delivers blood in the middle of the night, so it makes his schedule weird. But we went down the river, had some drinks, smoked some joints. It was fucking, all in all, a very, very good time. We've seen a lot of wildlife. I seen a muskrat. kind of cool. Muskrat. Woo, muskrat. Most exciting thing ever. But, whatever. It's very fucking relaxing. Just to float down the river and just chill and just listen to fucking nothing, basically. See, the true secret to happiness is just to clear your mind. When you're sitting there fretting and thinking about shit, you're only thinking about one thing, and that's the shit you're fretting about. You can just clear your fucking mind. I know it sounds easier than it is, but you got to practice doing it. You got to bring yourself back to that. Be mindful of the fact that your mind is racing and try to turn that motherfucker off once in a while. That's what I do, and it helps. And then when I can't, I sit down and throw my recording shit together and put one of these shows together and hope you guys like listening to it. But I keep getting so sidetracked. I want to talk about the OJ shit so much, but I already got away from it. I shouldn't go back to it too much. But anyhow, the verdict comes back, and the fucking hole erupts. I mean, it erupts in a cacophony of just cheering and rooting, and people are so fucking happy. And not just the hole. I went over to my little screeny type little fake ass window they have in there, and I could hear the whole fucking prison yard just cheering, because motherfuckers out in GP, general population, they got their own TVs and radios and shit, so they're getting that minute by minute on CNN, and they are erupted in cheers and celebration. I mean, you seriously would have thought the first fucking man walked on the moon. They were so goddamn happy that he had beat his case, and I don't give a fuck what color you are. It doesn't make me happy. Shit don't make me happy at all. I'm sitting up in this motherfucker. He is not. This doesn't speak for me or you. I don't know why so many people were happy. As time went on, I would say about 80% of those people that cheered and rooted and were happy about it were fucking pissed in the end. They were pissed. They rooted for it at first, like, yeah, fuck the man, stick it to the man. And then later they went, wait a minute, because I'm poor, I got fucked, and because you're rich, you didn't. And they started seeing more, it wasn't a good thing, but in a way it did. I think, like, at least a few of my good friends that I was able to have, like, deeper conversations with without getting fucking punched in the mouth, like, it kind of changed their perception on shit, too, where it was like, can you look now that we've seen someone besides, like, whoever that other rich motherfucker was at the time, that Blake, someone, or a enforcer, I don't remember. But we've seen someone besides some rich white motherfucker beat a case because he's rich. And, like, there's a line drawn in America, but it's right down the fucking tax form. It's right down an income line. It's not, there's certain neighborhoods that have certain classes and whatever you call, what is that, races of fucking people. Yeah, and those neighborhoods are poor. And then the motherfuckers all get in trouble because they're all fucking poor. But it doesn't mean that race of fucking people gets in trouble predominantly more. I mean, I used to live into some shitty Mexican areas when I was a kid, and they were super fucking poor. And I don't know, it just generates crime. It's just a shitty thing. But whatever, I'm not gonna get too socially aware. You guys know I don't really give a shit. I'm only worried about me and my breakfast. I think I'm getting breakfast really soon. The old wifey's cooking me some breakfast. I think I'm about out of shit to talk about when I'm talking about breakfast. Anyhow, tomorrow I'm going to a fucking Korn and a Yellow Wolf concert that is gonna fucking, I used to, Korn, there's been more, let me just touch one thing. I just noticed my other note. I want to talk about this, and I'll leave you with this thought. And this is just me baring my soul to you, because I like to talk to you guys. It helps me feel better about stuff. But going to Korn tomorrow, gotta admit, I got a little anxiety about it. I used to be, I guess the word is naughty, bad, or evil, something to Korn. I used to listen to it. I'd want to bust a motherfucker in the head with a padlock. I'd listen to some Korn. I want to stab a motherfucker. Listen to some Korn. Want to go stomp someone? Kick their fucking teeth in? Korn. Yep. Every fucking time. Just fucking want to run with the dogs, go play basketball, undercut someone, pretend like I didn't do it, and then beat his ass? Korn. Yep, every time. So, going to the concert, you reminisce to certain songs, and you're like, yeah, I love that song. But then there's other songs you reminisce to, and you're like, I can remember this bloody laundry room, so it'll be an interesting event. But anyhow, I got some breakfast now. So this has been Man Sharpens Man, episode number 26. I'm your host, LJ, and peace, pot, and microdot.